Hey guys, over the next 14 build episodes and a show and tell after that, we're going to be changing this into this. Now this is the map, so our town's going to be called Milton. It's about halfway between our last two builds. On the left it's Winston Junction, that was our last build actually. And on the right is Newtown, that was the build before that. Now Milton. It's going to be 1916 themed, funny enough it's a 1916 map, mostly concrete blocks in the middle and last estates to the suburbs. It's going to have an airport, yes it is, with working airplane route, which we're going to take a flight on that right at the end. And a bus station next to the train station with a working bus route between it and the airport. So we start off by taking off the track, we replace it with a station. Didn't want to usual, thought mix it up a bit. Add the trap back in. Yes, this is actually going to be our station. Because this is 1960s themed block. I want it completely different to everything we've done so far. Everything's been very quaint and nice and sort of oldie. And this is going to be concretey, right in the centre anyway. And then an estate in the, well, a large estate, or estates on the outer part. So our station pretty much stays like this all the way through, and we gradually add to it. Now we lock down the station, the building, so we can add this in, and so it doesn't move. Then just put those in. It does need a few details. It's very, it's blank at the moment. Now I didn't realise it's actually the 1960s where the British Rail sign came, so well, we're going to use that. And we use this top as well. Works quite nicely. This 1970s, well, it's going to be 1970s, isn't it? Sort of a horrible sort of shelter thing. But I quite like it. Got a bottle of beer on the end of it, or underneath if you look at it, if you raised it. Now these are going to be obviously our steps over the top. So try and get them to the right height, straighten them up a bit. Now we've locked off that building, so it shouldn't move. No, we've got that skylight in there, which is a bit annoying, but we find ways to hide that. So we're going to get to the middle and the far platforms from, or inside the building. Add a few extra doors in. Well, this is our original door, but we changed that later on. I should probably lock down that canopy as well, shouldn't I? Now we put this this canopy here, but this really is a little bit too modern, so we get rid of that. Right, now a wonderful concrete wall. What am I saying? Brick, no. Because we are going to be adding a new level in. And more entrances. We're going to use these a lot actually through this build. Try and get it as far as possible. And more BR signs, British Rail signs. I think it was 68 or 69 these came in, I believe. Could be wrong. I'll put it on screen if I am. So all we're doing is just hiding it, obviously. I think it's good enough. A bit of pixelation there. But we're going to have a few bridges. In fact, probably the most amount of bridges over the track in this concentrated area that any other town had. If you remember, Newtown only had one crossing. It was a tunnel underneath. I did that as a bit of a joke. A massive town, one way across, I found it amusing. But this one will have 3. And one of them eventually will have our working bus line on it. However, we keep these blocks. I don't think we do actually. I think I changed this later on, but quite far on. Now, each of the episodes are going to be around 10 minutes long, and there's going to be a reveal episode afterwards. That's 15 episodes in total, including the reveal. I think the reveal's going to... I haven't done the reveal yet at this point, edited it. Probably going to be about 20, 25 minutes long, that one. There we go, so we've set the height. So I've worked out how high the ground is at that point. So we've set the height, we'll keep everything else at that height. All the way down to those hills. Now this is around here is going to be where the airport's going to be eventually. So this extra bit of height here, the undulation, I do regret doing this actually. It makes it rather difficult because now, yeah, it's rather, has to be on a sort of flat area. So we're using the gradient tool like we've done many a time to sort of even it off a bit. So it looks a little bit more real, I suppose. It's a little more real. At this point, I hadn't really got a massive plan, other than I wanted a 60s blocks in the centre. Which is why I put a brick building right next to it. In fact, as you can see, it goes the other side in the end. We do end up moving those back, because I decided there's not enough space. But the principle of it stays the same. So try and get as close to the edge as possible. Then we'd have to put too many extra splines in of hills and things. The idea here is I'll put a lower one in, and so I'm going to put this wall here and then put another one in straight after. But as I said, there's going to be a few roads going across, one either side and one a bit further down. We end up needing to lower that wall slightly. So it's just a matter of cutting it up, putting it back like that and putting another one in underneath. Well, I think we use the blocks, don't we? I prefer to use just one, that's why I'm trying to put it in like that. Also got to make sure that middle leg does stay middle. Actually, I don't particularly want to use that road, which is why we're changing it over. And our third and final bridge for the area. Now, this is attempt 1. Attempt 1? I think it's attempt 1 at making a way down into the gully, into the area where the track is. I'm not entirely sure why I don't keep this. As you can see, I delete it and we use this one in the end. And then we end up putting a road on top. Now, we do this both sides of the track, actually. That's a little bit of detail in, which is quite nice. And then we just extend the surface there. It's meant to be concrete, isn't it? Concrete base 54 by 20, it says. But that is it for this episode. There's plenty more. So, next one will be in 2 days' time if you're watching as I put them out. Well, thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed it, please press the like button. If you want to see more, please subscribe. And if you press that ding-dong bell button, it even tells you when I put more stuff on. Cheers, guys. See you next time. Bye-bye.